Ayushmann Khurrana's Thamma may have brought horror comedy back to Bollywood. But long before that, Indian filmmakers were already experimenting with something darker. A kind of horror that wasn't just supernatural, but spiritual. Before the jump scares and CGI, there was raw fear. And before Thamma, there were films like Gehrayee, Saamri, and Veerana. Stories that defined Indian horror before the genre even had a name. Gehrayee. Gehrayee was the beginning of it all. A film that treated possession not as fantasy, but as a question of faith, guilt, and something far beyond understanding. Released in 1980, it was one of India's first supernatural horrors to feel grounded in reality, where a middle class family faces forces that science can't explain. Its haunting realism came from how quietly it was told. No exaggerated effects, just unease. And behind the camera, tragedy deepened its legacy. Co director Aruna Raje lost her young daughter to cancer soon after the film's release. That loss gave the film an emotional shadow it never meant to carry. Even today, Gehrayee feels disturbingly human. A horror that begins not in the dark, but inside the mind. Saamri. 5 years later came Saamri, louder, bolder, and far more theatrical. The Ramsey brothers created a revenge tale set between life and death. A dead man wronged, rising from his grave to reclaim what was stolen. To heighten the atmosphere, many scenes were filmed on real burial grounds near Mumbai. Crew members later admitted they heard distant chanting during night shoots, and some refused to stay after midnight. It was pulp horror at its most vivid. But under the campy visuals, there was something raw and unnerving that no soundstage could recreate. And then came Veerana, the Ramsay's most iconic creation, where desire and darkness lived under the same roof. A witch's curse, a haunted mansion, a story drenched in fear. But what haunts Veerana the most isn't the plot, it's what happened after. Its lead actress, Jasmine, vanished from the film industry soon after the release. No interviews, no final appearance, just gone. Her disappearance itself became Veerana's legend, a real life mystery that turned the film into something more than fiction. These weren't just horror films, they were reflections of fear, loss, and the unknown. Each of them carried something real, something personal, and together they built the foundation that Thamma now stands on. They may not have had modern effects or marketing, but they had something far rarer: sincerity. You've been watching the Binge Diaries, where cinema's past still breathes in the dark.